WWE continues to anger pro wrestling fans all around the world simply because it is that time of the year where they start releasing members of their roster. For as long as I've been doing YouTube, literally every year we're making videos on people cut from the roster, and it sucks. People are losing their job. WWE continues to make money. Fans are unhappy, and it's a lot of bullshit. With that being said, there's rumors that more cuts are on the way, and I really don't know what to expect, but we got to talk about it. Now, before we could talk about today's video, I got to say shout out to all of you who clicked like on my last video. I simply asked, can we hit 75 likes? You guys came through. We did over 200. At this point, I don't even know what to ask for. So now I feel like it's the perfect time to tell you guys about some really cool announcements, and I'll make it quick. I want to say shout out to Mirgo Digital for hooking DPW up with a brand new website built from scratch. Guys, pro wrestling news from YouTube is going to get posted there every single day. So if YouTube doesn't notify you, it will be on my website. Also, with that being said, we now brought back DPW champions, right? You could become a DPW champion for $4.99 a month. We're bringing it back. Lots of cool perks are being introduced. But also, we have launched a Discord because my biggest goal, no matter what, is to build a community for pro wrestling fans. So Discord is entirely free, completely free. You don't have to be a DPW champion to access our Discord service. All you got to do is click the link in the description. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you are a DPW champion, then there's also going to be a champions club for you specifically. Guys, it's going to be really cool. All those links are in the description. But one more announcement. Guys, because Mirgo Digital hooked it up with a very cool website, if you guys go to the website right now, you're going to see 12 different products that are for sale right now. That's right, Spring 2021, the new merch line for DPW. We're going to keep this updated regularly throughout the time. Summer line, fall, winter, cool merchandise coming. We got some professional designers and people helping out with making this a smooth process. And if you guys want to support the channel, and I don't know if anybody out here is actually going to do this, so I don't expect any orders, but if somebody wants to buy a tank top or a hat or a phone case or whatever it may be, if you guys actually want to do this, I'm going to put a code. It's free shipping. Just use the code SPRING2021. I don't even think this is going to happen, honestly. I really don't think anybody's going to buy DPW merch. But if you buy DPW merch, let me know. I want to show you some love because I don't think it's going to happen. But nonetheless, let's just talk about the news. So yeah, WWE continues to anger their fans. And honestly, I feel for everybody who's upset by it, because at this point, it's just happening every year. Every year, this thing happens where WWE releases members of their roster from Raw and SmackDown, and then eventually NXT. Last year, during the start of COVID, it was 44 plus wrestlers, announcers, things like that. And then now we have 11 people who have been released. We know Charlie Caruso has not extended her contract with WWE. We know Samoa Joe was released. We know Mickie James, the Iconics. There's a lot of names that are surprisingly released, despite some of them being used and some of them obviously not being used. But now the rumor is WWE will continue to make more cuts. And what's very interesting is if WWE will do what they did last year. Now, if you guys need a refresher, maybe you don't remember from the videos I made, I don't blame you. 2020 was a crazy year. WWE released over 44 members of the main roster, and then by the time it got down to NXT, there were a lot of silent releases. If I can honestly say, like, there was quite a few names that were released and nobody really even knew they were released. It wasn't necessarily made public. They weren't big names, but nonetheless, it happened. Right now, there is rumors that WWE is getting ready to make some major cuts to the developmental brand. So maybe there are going to be people from NXT who are cut. Maybe it's solely going to be people who aren't used, people that are just training. We don't really know. The problem is WWE continues to be very surprising in the way they handle releases. We didn't expect Samoa Joe, just like we didn't expect Rusev, right? When Rusev was released last year, we didn't expect it. This year, we didn't expect Samoa Joe. It was shocking. We also didn't expect the Iconics. So who is really off the table? And I hate to say this, and I know you guys will sit here and maybe like argue this with me, but at this point, I don't think there's anybody on the WWE roster that is untouchable. And I think WWE has built themselves up to be bigger than any member of the roster, and that includes Roman Reigns. So WWE going to NXT, guys like Finn Balor, guys like Roderick Strong, you know, who really knows what their future is with NXT? There is no rumor, by the way, that suggests that Finn Balor is getting released. But what I'm saying is, at this point, it wouldn't shock me because WWE, like, they don't really have a sense of direction for a lot of these guys. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa have been on NXT for a long time. They're kind of like the bread and butter for NXT, and I don't think they're going to get released. But literally what I'm saying is, based on what WWE has done in the past, nothing will surprise me at this point. I personally think when these announcements are made, it's going to be a lot of people who either aren't used or have been in NXT for a long time and really just not going to have anything for them. And some of these people aren't being used on TV right now. And there's a lot of people that have signed to NXT. They're part of the training, you know, the training regimen every single day, but they haven't debuted on TV. There's going to be a lot of people, I'm sure, that aren't ready for TV, and maybe WWE just doesn't want to go that route in training them or developing them. What I always say is AEW is another option, and AEW is a good option. Now, before you guys even consider yelling at me about AEW signing any WWE talent that's released, just keep in mind WWE and AEW are two of the biggest companies, and AEW has been giving non-exclusive contracts to those working on AEW Dark Elevation. So with AEW Dark Elevation, there's a lot of people from the indies who were given jobs during a pandemic, and all they had to do was wrestle for AEW on a show that's on YouTube. We saw this become a really big thing for Tay Conti, who is now competing for the AEW Women's Championship. Cesar Bononi is another name that comes to mind. Both of them were from NXT. Both of them were given very little opportunity. So, with that being said, when it is officially announced who is released, if the announcement comes through, I will cover it and I will let you guys know what I personally think should happen with those people and where they should go. But at this point, nothing surprises me. And that's all I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say, if there's one thing I want to make very clear in this video, one, go buy my merch, please. And two, literally, seriously, I mean, I don't know how else to say this at this point. There is nothing that surprises me about WWE. I think there's nobody in WWE's roster that's untouchable. There is clearly nobody on NXT that is untouchable, because no matter how much Triple H or somebody is a fan of these wrestlers, there's somebody else making the decisions, and that's the big thing here. So that's my takeaway. Roderick Strong, I do want to talk about that for a second. From what it appears, because I know people might ask, I know people have asked me, Roderick Strong probably won't be released. Everything that we're seeing with him walking out on NXT seems to be leading to a call-up, which that's going to be a separate video for another time. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for your support lately. I really appreciate it. I have more stuff coming, so I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Peace.